New Vision Center, Spiritual Living, Stewardship 2025, welcome. We are dancing with the richness of life. And richness is a spiritual reality. It is the fullness. It is the abundance. It is the givingness of life itself. And when we study that and apply it and celebrate it, we're less fearful, upset, overwhelmed, angry in our money lives. We're more clear, we're more inspired, we're more free. When we have that, well, we fund our dreams and we care for our resources with wisdom and respect. That's stewardship. And frankly, when that happens, we can't stop the feeling. All right. Wow. So I am Reverend Karen Russo. I'm a longtime member of the New Vision Center. I'm very grateful that Jeff gave the talk for today already. Thank you so much. He really hit those spiritual principles. And I want to give a big shout out to our artists. So Frank Smith, the Divine Groove, and Riley, they all said yes. That was wonderful. A special acknowledgement to Mr. Smith and Brandon and the entire stream team who also said yes. Reverend Karen said, oh, yes, and she didn't even know what it was about, and she said yes. And I also want to give a big shout out. There's a new role in town, which is New Vision Center Dance Captain Robert Haynes. Yeah. So he and all of the New Vision Center dancers, which includes every single one of you, and to our online community, we could totally feel you here in the sanctuary. So thank you all for that. Richness. What I love about the inspiration for our stewardship theme in our month is that this is a quality of being, of the divine, that is worthy of our exploration, and a beautiful way for us to work with the basic principles of the science of mind. There's really two big ideas. And for the folks that are new, this is a 100-year-old teaching. Our founder is Dr. Ernest Holmes. We have themes that come from the mystical traditions across all the world religions, also correlated with metaphysics and scientific principles and with philosophy. So there are going to be things in our teaching that, of course, you have heard before. We don't have so much a new revelation as we have a deep way of connecting, correlating those things. And there's two big ideas. Love, which is the interconnectedness of all life. That's the circle in our teaching symbol. So there's like no beginning, no end, the eternal nature of life. And law. And law is how life works. And that is that 8-word description is, it is done unto you as you believe. It's the idea that consciousness is creative. And that's what Jeff was saying. It is like changing our mindset changes our life. And particularly for this talk and for this experience, I was reading a section from chapter 18, the Science of Mind textbook, about it's a law of attraction chapter, and it's about opportunities. And there's a quote, I've pulled a few of those phrases. I thought this really will kind of anchor for us. Life lies open to me, rich, full, abundant. I have only to open the portals of my soul and accept that which is ready to express. Life lies open to me, to you, to all of us, rich, full, abundant. So that's the nature of it. And our job, our action, is to open up, accept, and reveal it. And I've already gotten an amen, which I love. Okay. So let us look at the 3 laws that are particularly, so one law, and then there's aspects of it, probably about a dozen aspects of the law. And for abundance and prosperity, law of unity, law of cause and effect, law of circulation. And for many of you, you have heard these ideas before. And for some, and for the folks that are new, this may be new. I would say for all of us, particularly as we are about to have a wonderful stewardship luncheon and to look ahead for ourselves and for New Vision Center, is to ask yourselves which of these laws are the ones that you are being called to dance with right now. All right, law of unity. So this is the truth, the reality that life is a complete whole. And one of the most important aspects of the law of unity is the distinction of source and channel. Capital S, spiritual source. That is the infinite, loving presence, ever-giving, eternal, limitless. Channel, little m, little c, material channel, are the things in our lives through which the infinite source flows. So when it comes to money and supply and well-being and wealth, we have an infinite source, and then we have fabulous human channels. So that could be the rich, generous lover, the appreciating real estate, the stable job with great benefits and a growing pension, the consistent government that provides an income that you really like. Don't these material channels sound fabulous, right? And one of the things about material channels, and I hope you have as many generous lovers as you want. So just, yeah. Material channels, we love them. And something in us really understands that material channels do not provide spiritual security. Am I right? Yes. Yeah. So because of that, the reason that we can feel amiss is we can start to have fear. And money worries, fear about money, it's almost always about something in the future. It's almost always about lack or going to that poorhouse or, something that's going to happen that's bad. There won't be enough later. Money worries, ultimately, are more of a faith issue than a financial one. Money worries are a faith issue. It's about where do we have our spiritual faith, less about, do we have enough in terms of an actual number. So that's one of the things to work with the law of unity, is to really start to develop the relationship with the source. And I want to give a little nuanced example. So 20 years ago, I was newly married, and I dragged the big fella to one of those wealth building workshops. It wasn't only me back then who was doing that stuff. So we all went to this wealth building workshop, and the coach said, you want to be sure you have a cash machine. And a cash machine is something you can do so that if you were dropped anywhere, you could start to do something. Like if you were a teacher, you could be a tutor. If you were in IT, you could go do computer setups. But you could start doing your cash machine wherever you went and earn money, and that would be a good thing. And I was like, I totally get it. I want my cash machine. But it was a little bit of a nuance here. It made me feel like my skills, my smarts, my hard work, that's the answer. And I got to tell you, this is where it gets real. Our skills and our smarts and our hard work, they're still a material channel. You got it? It's like even saying I can always depend on, what came for me was I can have what I want if I struggle and work hard. But even that is depending on a material channel. So the invitation here about the law of unity is I invite you to use our tools. And prayer and meditation are our primary spiritual growth tools. Prayer changes our consciousness. Meditation connects us with the divine. In addition to those, I'd encourage you to use gratitude, coming to a worship service like this, a celebration service, visioning, journaling. Those are the things that help you reconnect with Source and feel that wholeness. And when we do that with the law of unity, we feel inspired, we feel whole, and we feel that sense of connection with Source. So that's number one. You want that? Yes, yes, yes. All right, good. And then the law of cause and effect. So the law of cause and effect is the reality that consciousness creates experience. And so this means that our beliefs, which are the sum total of our patterns of thought, that's the content that goes through our minds, feeling, which is the emotional reaction to it, held in place by conversation within ourselves and with each others, with repetition and intensity. That's what creates consciousness. So fleeting thoughts, while they may or may not be putting us in the direction we want to go, it's the dominant pattern of our thinking that creates our experiences. And when it comes to money and supply, we can really get stuck if we have anger, guilt, shame, resentment about things of the past. So remember I said, the money worry is often about the fear of the future. The money, like being stuck, angry, being kind of squelched, feeling bound, that's about the past. And it takes a lot of, I don't want to say it takes a lot of work, but it takes something to be willing to change our minds. And yes, prayer and meditation are key tools for that. And so is something called financial forgiveness. And so it's very interesting. You'll hear this theme throughout. So even with what Jeff talked about, he had to let go of holding on to family ideas about himself and about lack and about money in order to step into something new. And I want to give a shout out. I've been doing some work recently with Maureen Garrity, who's one of our practitioners, and this is an approved story to share. Maureen really had a sense of a victim story about money. And she said, I was holding on to family, in-law, and ex-spouse ideas about money, and it kept me feeling like really stuck. So her forgiveness work was, let me be willing to let them go and to start to develop through affirmation and through prayer my own ideas about money. And here's what's the benefit of that. It's not just freeing from the past. She says, I feel a sense of my own value. And that's the creativity and possibility that is there for us. So I invite, this is a pretty, for many people here, you've heard these ideas before. It's a congregation and a community that we're walking a spiritual journey together. Is there anything in your mindset about money that you want to have a shift with? Because it is possible. And even the subtle things about, we're using this word richness, rich and poor. So sometimes there's a conversation that says the rich are greedy and they should be resented. And the poor, they're needy, they should be pitied. And those ideas keep us stuck. And they also are an untrue way of assessing others. So if that's up for you, like I want to have a new idea about all people being wealthy, worthy, whole, respected, that may be an area where there's some forgiveness to do. So for this law of cause and effect, it's an opportunity to create new meaning, new story, new models about money. Yes, prayer and meditation. I'd also include the things like Reverend Leslie doing the thing on Wednesday night, the Fear to Faith, the classes that we have, the circles, get engaged with communities of people, expand yourself, go to a charity fundraiser and feel great about people who are giving. Work with Terry and Keys to Change and meet a veteran who's struggled with being unhoused and see that person whole. Like there are things you can do to get yourself in a more spiritually elevated truth, and you will be free, you will be creative, you will be available to create the abundance that you want. Do you want that too? Yes. All right. And then the third, law of circulation. So this is giving and receiving. Circulation is vitality. Anything that's healthy, whether it's a human body or a relationship or stuff with money in a community or an organization, it has a flow, an infinite flow of giving and receiving. And when we are in that flow, we feel vitality, we feel movement. So circulation is a reality. We're either participating in it or we're not. And if we're not, it turns out to be stuff like we feel overwhelmed with managing our own money, or maybe we feel some sense of stuck, or we can't move forward. And that thing is where it just kind of gets tighter and smaller, and we get still. And listen, I get it that the world can give us signs these days that we should hunker down and pull in and hover over what we've got because things could do whatever they're going to do. I also times of our lives when we feel like we might feel stuck. So, like some of you, I'm at a later stage of life, and like some of you, I have taken on a new lover. Yeah, Bill knows all about it. Yeah. And that lover is gravity. Gravity. Am I, yeah, do you know what I'm talking about? These feet and their cute red shoes, I want to keep them on the ground. I want to stay where I am. And this is symbolic, isn't it? It's like, this, there can be a feeling of like, I've kind of got here, maybe I'll stay here. Why move? It's good here. And I will tell you that one of the things I knew for this stewardship dance is I said, I wanted to see if it was possible to jump from the platform down. And did you all see Jean helped me out? Yeah, I was able to do it. So here's what I'll tell you is, so Reverend Karen, if we get 100 pledge cards, I will jump up on the platform. I will jump up. Okay. Yeah. I might need a running start from Scottsdale to do that. I will get up there. The number one tool, in addition to prayer and meditation, to get us moving with our money is an ancient practice that we practice here today, which is called tithing, which is T-I-T-H-E. Tithe means a tenth. And tithing, the ancients would plow the fields and leave the 10% of the crop to nourish the soil. The idea is you give thanks for the 100% that comes, and off of the top, leave 10% behind to honor that which inspires you, your spiritual source. So some people know, some people are new. The New Vision Center, there's no headquarters church planting us here. We are a community that comes to a budget and supports it and sustains it through our contributions and the service revenue of the things that we provide. There's no requirement for any kind of financial giving, and many of us choose to be tithers, to give thanks for the 100% that comes to us and share with places we're inspired. And for many who are members of the church, New Vision is one of those places. I want to also acknowledge that New Vision Center, we're a tithing community. We give thanks for the 100% that comes in, and we give generously to the Centers for Spiritual Living in acknowledgement of their inspiration and resources, also out into the community. So the circulation, it's like where the rubber meets the road about practicing the principles in all our affairs. Another place for getting moving is in our giving of service. So if you feel like I want to give at New Vision and I want to get moving and I want to jump, is giving yourself, you have your time and your talent in service is also another way. So that's the law of circulation. When we practice the law of circulation, we feel like we're in the flow, we feel free. It feels good, doesn't it? Law of unity, law of circulation, law of cause and effect. This is going to be a beautiful stewardship series. And I think we have the slide with the cycle that we're going to have of in the coming weeks. Myself, Reverend Karen Einhaus, our senior minister, Reverend Leslie Goodwin, our associate minister, will be delivering messages about how this richness occurs within us, with one another, in the community, and beyond into the world. And I do want to say a final thing about richness and inclusivity. So I've kind of been hype girl today, up. And one of the things I want to say is that richness is a spiritual reality. And as a spiritual reality, we know that richness includes the light and the dark, the transformational and the tragic, life and loss. Around money and supply, richness includes productive, compensated, fair, just, generous. And richness includes the times of betrayal or loss, or devastation or challenge. So we don't play around. We understand that all of it is included in the oneness. And what that means is we see facts in the face with compassion, and we know the spiritual truth is there. So I really want to say, especially because we have new people, we do our best with our inclusivity, with demographics and experience. We want people to feel welcome. We can always do more. We can always be even more gracious and welcoming. The place that we know that we stand in terms of inclusivity is there is not a second power. There is one power. Whatever you have experienced, whatever anyone is experiencing, no matter what is happening out there, we know there is one power. It is the power of God. It is good. It is the life and the love and the richness of all of us. And that is precious and valuable, isn't it? Yes. All right. Peace and blessings. So let us take this beautiful energy and move to prayer. And how grateful I am to rise up and recognize that there is one life. That life is good, God, love, supply, wholeness. That infinite, eternal, limitless, everywhere present reality, that is the great reality. That is the truth of who I am, the truth of who all are. Everyone is a partaker and an expresser of that reality. So here at the New Vision Center, in our online community, in the timeless expression of this prayer, we extend this out to include all beings, all faith traditions, all peoples, all places. All of life is included in this recognition. And it is from this recognition, this unity with the one, that I speak a word this day. I claim and accept that the blessings of richness are pouring forward through each and every one. I call forward a deeper experience of our unity and oneness with the divine so that we are inspired, peaceful, generous. I claim for us that our thought and consciousness is elevated to a place of courage, creativity, and freedom, so that we are givers and receivers, and we are in circulation. It is our nature to give and receive, and we do so graciously, vibrantly. And I give thanks because this prayer is a blessing to all who have called upon our ministry for prayer, to all we are connected to. It is a blessing to all. And with a grateful heart, grateful for the law that says yes, I release this prayer. I release the word. We know that all is well. It is done. Together we say, and so it is.